Hello students, now we are going to discuss about the acid base theory, right? So that we will be able to understand buffers, right? So when we talk about the acid base, they are having a different types of quite opposite types of behavior, right? That's what it's all about, the hydrogen concentration and the hydroxyl concentration, how they are going to dissociate. Accordingly we are going to decide that this is the acid or this is the base, or it is a strong acid or a strong base, or weak acid or weak base, or that sort, right? So let us try to discuss right from the beginning, so that basic theory and concept we will be able to understand, and then we will be able to decide that what is the acid and what is the base and what is the kind of buffer it is going to have. Okay, so as you can see into this animation picture, that how they are going to form the bond, the particular types of bond, and they are going to form the, it's a salt, or it may be what you call, depend on the electron donor or proton donor or acceptor, what is the kind of thing, right? So these things we will try to understand basically in a proper way. So let us start with the class. The first one, here you can see it is nothing but a basic concept related to acid and base, right? So we will try to understand first of all chemical bonding and electron valence, right? So here one example, it has given carbon atom, right? And you can see here three things it is there in the particular atom. The green color it is indicating electron, the blue color it is indicating the proton, and the orange color it is, the pink color it is indicating the neutron, right? So in the center you can see that 6 proton and 6 neutron it is situated, whereas this green color it is there into the different energy levels, right? So say for example carbon atom, the carbon valency it is there 4, so 4 electron it is there in the most upper energy level. So what this concept it is indicating in this carbon atom, we will try to understand. The electron is an atom are located at different energy level. Yes, here you can see one energy level 2, then here it is 4, right? And the electron in the highest energy level are called valence electron. That's what it is, the that much scope it will be having for bonding, right? That's what carbon valency it is 4, so 4 electron it is there, that's what it is called a valence electron. That's what highest energy level are called valence electrons. Number of valence electrons governs an atom bonding behavior, right? So 4 number of valence electron it is there in the highest energy level, so carbon valency is 4. So that's what bonding behavior, it depend on the valence electron present in the particular atom, right? Now this much it is clear. Now what is the max number of valence electron for full valence cell, right? Max number of valence electron. So atom are much more stable or less reactive with full valence cell. If the valency it is full, so what will be there, the particular atom it will be more stable and less reactive, the reactivity will be less in this case, right? By moving electrons, the two atom become linked. That's what, whenever linking, like sodium and chloride, right, hydrogen and hydroxide, so like that linking behavior it is going to, it become linked whenever the electron it is going to move. This is known as chemical bonding. That's what sodium and chloride, chemical bonding, ionic bonding it is going to have. So here you can see two types of this stability can be achieved one of two way, that is the ionic bond and the covalent bond, right? So bond they are going to form and they will become stable. Ionic bond, when we talk about, involve transfer of electron between two atom, right? Whenever transfer of electron between two atom, it will become it will be mostly, it will be seen into the inorganic compound. So here is the example of sodium chloride example, NaCl, right? So what will happen when sodium ion and the chlorine ion or chlorine atom, sorry, right, sodium atom and chlorine atom. So here in sodium atom, here one electron it is ready to go with this with the chlorine ion, right? It is ready to transfer. So transfer of electron, that's what here after giving this electron to here, it become positive and it become negative. So sodium ion it is a cation because of the positive charge, and it is an anion, chloride ion, right? because of negative charge. So what is happening here, this thing it happened here, what do you mean by ion? An atom or a group of atom which have lost or gained one or more electrons, making them what you call actively positive charge, negatively or positively charged. That's what. Okay, sodium has lost the electron, and the chlorine ion, it has gained the electron and become chloride ion. Okay, and both are having what, positive or negative charge. So this is called the ion, right? So this is called ionic bond, it comes. Now in the terms of ions, how the acid and base can be described here. An acid is any ionic compound that release hydrogen in solution, right? So you can see here, when acid we are adding into the water, it is releasing the hydrogen ion, right? Hydrogen ion it is releasing into the water. Whereas in base is an ionic compound that release hydroxyl ion. Whenever base will be added into the water, hydroxyl ion it is releasing. Now one more important fact here, another important characteristic of water can form acid or base, both, because you can see here two hydrogen atom with the one oxygen atom, right? So here what is happening, this is the water molecule, all the water molecule they are bonding with the what you call hydrogen bond, right? So that's what, if acid will come with the water, it behave like a acid. When base will come in the water, it behave like a base. So that is the characteristic, important characteristic, that's what, of the water. Now dissociation concept we will try to understand, because it is only deciding whether it is acid or base. So dissociation in water, for example, if you talk about water itself, water it is dissociated in hydrogen plus and hydroxyl minus, right? So here you can see 2H2O atom, if it is joining together, hydronium ion it is going to form and hydroxyl ion it is going to release, right? So because of this characteristic only, it is going to dissociate. So natural, the neutral water has the equal amount of hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. That's what it is behaving neutral, no pH, right? Means neither it is acid or base, right? Acids, when we talk about excess of hydrogen ion in aqueous solution, it is behaving like acid, and excess of hydroxyl ion in aqueous solution, it is nothing but base. So acid and base neutralize each other. That's what, okay, in water it will be neutralized. That's what water it is, neutral behavior of the water, right? So here when we talk about the dissociation, strong acid, when we talk about strong acid completely dissociate in water. For example, hydrochloric acid, it is example of strong acid, right? H and Cl, the yellow round it is Cl, hydrochloride, and H which is in red. So even it will strong acid added to the water, what will happen? Hydrogen and the chloride it will be dissociate, right? So 100% ionization in the strong acid, it is going to 100% ionization it is going to have. Whereas weak acid do not completely dissociate in water, right? Weak acid means here you can see HAC, acetic acid, right? So here what will happen, HAC means it is nothing but CH3COOH, right? So CH3 and COOH, you can see here, whenever if we are going to add into the water, there are different types of ionization it is going to have, hydrogen and acetic acid and this thing, right? Like hydrogen acetic acid in this way. So what is happening, it is going to partially ionize, right? So ionization it is going to have been partial, not completely. So the concept it is saying that strong acid dissociate or ionized completely, weak acid dissociate or ionized partially. So what are the characteristic of acid and base? So when we talk about acid, it is act as a proton donor, whereas base it is proton acceptor. Acid electron pair acceptor, base electron pair donor. Strong acid dissociate fully in water, strong base also dissociate fully in water, weak acid dissociate partially in water, weak base dissociate partially. Ka means this is the nothing but dissociation concept of acid, dissociation concept. Kb we are denoting here, it is denoting by Ka. So here you can see this is the dissociation concept of acid, Ha plus H2O, it is going to have the hydronium ion, H3O plus acid right? So Ka equal to H3O, the big bracket A big bracket divided by HA. So this you have to remember, this is called the dissociation constant of acid, like that for the base. Here it is the pH scale which will clear you the what is the acid, base and neutral, right? So when we talk about here, it will be 0 to 14. Okay, 7 it is called the distilled water, it is called a neutral. Here you can see 7, it is indicating neutral, right? So right from the basic side, if you talk about from pH, examples are, for example, liquid drain cleaner, it is pH 14, means it is more what you call alkaline, right, or more basic, right? Coming to the here bleaches, oven cleaner and other thing, pH 13.5, ammonium solution pH 10.5 to 11.5, baking soda pH 9.5, base water sea water it will be having 6 pH, blood pH is 7.4, it is the almost neutral. That's what it is very important to know, like blood pH, why it should be 7.4. Whatever the drug we are formulating and we are giving, that will ultimately it is going to reach to the blood, and it should be compatible with the blood, then only it will go, it can go for the further metabolism and distribution and all those things, right? Coming to the milk, urine and saliva having 6.3 to 6.6 pH, whereas black coffee is having 5 pH. Where we come to the grapefruit juice or soda and tomato juice will be having 2.5 to 3.5 pH, lemon juice and vinegar having 2 pH, and battery acid and hydrochloric acid having 0 pH, means strong acid, right? That's what you can see in this bleach, soap water, ammonium solution, milk of magnesia, baking soda, sea water, these are alkaline in nature, whereas distilled water is neutral, and urine, black coffee, tomato juice or lemon juice, gastric acids, these are the acidic in nature. So how we can decide here, this area whatever the things fall, it these are the strong base, this area weak base, this is neutral, strong weak acid, this is the strong acid, right? So likewise in pH scale we can determine different example. Now what is an acid? Basically acid behave how, right? It depend on the dissociation. As I told you, an acid is a substance which when dissolved in water release proton, that's what we could see, proton, right? It is releasing proton. And the extent of dissociation, right, what is the rate or what is the extent of dissociation, that is the amount of proton released, that's what it decide the extent of the rate of dissociation compared to the total number of compound is measure of the strength of acid. Okay, for example, HCl, hydrochloric acid, is a strong acid because it dissociates completely in water and generating free hydrogen and free chloride ion, right? So the hydration of carbon dioxide in water, you can see CO2 plus H2O, H2CO3, right? So H2CO3 minus plus H positive charge, right? So that's what it's indicating the dissociation. The carbon dioxide goes into solution, carbonic acid is formed which partially dissociate and liberating proton hydrogen ions, and thus causing the solution to become more acidic and lowering the pH. That's what pH will be reduced, so that's what it become this more lowering the pH, right? So the coming to the what is the weak acid? If strong acid is like that, it depend on the proton releasing. Weak acid, what some substance like acetic acid or vinegar dissociate poorly in water, not strongly or not 100% ionization, it is not going to form here, partially ionization it is going to form. So that's what thus they release proton, but only a small fraction of their molecule dissociate or ionize. Such compounds are considered to be a weak acid. That's what while 1 molar of hydrochloric acid pH is 0, whereas 1 molar of acetic acid pH is 2.4. Depends on the dissociation. Weak acids thus are the equilibrium with their ionized species. So governed by the law of mass action and characterized by the equilibrium constants. So HA, H plus A minus EQ means K equilibrium, dissociation constant equilibrium. So H plus A minus by divided by HA. So this is called a equilibrium constant. This may also be asked in exam. What is an base? Just opposite, like the base is an ionic compound that release hydroxyl ion in solution, not hydrogen ion, right? hydroxyl ion. Base are also called alkaline substance. Yes, some general properties of base include like taste. When we talk about bitter taste, smell, the touch is slimy and soapy feel onto the finger. Strong base are caustic on organic matter and react violently with the acidic substances. So for example, sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, these are the example of base. Now strong and weak acid and base, right? So strong acid, when we talk about, fully dissociate in water, and almost every molecule break up to form hydrogen ion. Some strong acids are hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, HNO3, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and all those. Weak acid, when we talk about, partially dissociated in water. Some weak acids are carboxylic acids, right? Strong base fully dissociate in water. Almost every molecule breakups to form hydroxyl ion. Some strong bases are sodium hydroxide, like, okay. Yeah, weak base partially dissociated, like, right, ammonia. So like that, these are the different example of strong acid and strong base, right? So this, like that, we can conclude.